It was at this moment that he knew.
He bucked up. Welcome. You're listening to Bucked Up with Sam Buck.
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. You have fucked up now. Now you fucked up. 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 Now you have fucked up.
Welcome, Super Permy, Maya, to the Bucked Up Podcast. I'm so happy to see you. I haven't seen you in like 2 years.
Right?
Yeah.
It's nice to see you. Nice to talk to you.
It's awesome because I like having people on the podcast that follow their passion and their dreams, and that's what you do. You are a artist and a rapper and someone that I actually listen to when I get uncomfortable listening to people I know sometimes, but like I really like your shit. So like I listen to it and I don't feel this sounds bad, but it's a compliment. Like I actually like listening to your shit because it doesn't make me feel uncomfortable.
That's what I appreciate that.
Of course. Yeah. We're in Maine right now. I came up to Maine to do this podcast. That's where you live.
Yes.
Would you keep the microphone like a fist away from your mouth? Sorry. And I think that's cool. Like with this podcast, I started it not in like a major city. And I think that's cool about you is you've been able to do it not in like a hub of rap.
Right, exactly. And I feel like, I don't know, there's even more opportunity in like a smaller community because there's not a lot of people doing the same shit that I'm doing, you know? So like the people that are doing it, it's easy to connect with those people. But like in a bigger city, like it's harder to get connected with like other people in the community that are doing the same thing, you know?
Is there like a Portland rap scene? Like, is there a good enough amount of people to call it a scene?
I mean, maybe like a mini scene. Like there's a lot of like aspiring like young like rappers in high school and stuff, but it's not like people aren't going beyond like the regular like SoundCloud uploads and, like maybe a video or two, and like there's not people that are really like committing to like rapping as their career in the area. It's just like a hobby type shit, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about comedy. I talk about this on the podcast, is how like I love rap because I feel like the mindset is kind of similar to comedy. We were talking about this before the podcast started, but it's about the like caring as much as you can about being yourself and not being like chill about it.
Exactly. Like it has to be like people like rappers because they're doing shit that they can't do and it's like effortless and they're like just like living their life and like doing lit shit. They don't have to worry about like regular people responsibilities. It's just like they can rap, they can go on vacation, they can like they're able to support their family. Like it just looks like an amazing situation, you know.
But you have to work hard to get there.
To get to that point and sustain that point is like the thing that most people can't do.
Like I see you grind, and like even when we lived together for a little bit of time with Kiana Taylor, who was on this week's episode, the week that we're recording this is released. And you would like, people don't understand, like you going to the studio late at night, like real late until the morning, like one, that's the only time you can really get it. And two, like that is a grind. Like that's me going to open mics until 2 a.m. and then like for a little bit of time just to like grow.
And I have to pay for this. It's not like I'm just doing it. Like I'm investing money and time and like a lot into like making songs and like doing any type of art. It costs time and money, you know?
Exactly. It's like your work, you have to invest in yourself.
Right. Like you already have to pay for it if you want to do it. Like you know?
I think that's like a thing people are scared of, is they're like, and I think that's actually what a lot of the capitalist 21st century is about, is like, I'm going to make money so I can just kind of enjoy things, like go to the movie, like enjoy video games, movies, relaxation, just
You can't just do that. You need money first.
but you also like, I take that money and yes, am able to enjoy certain things, but I also invest it back in myself. Like
Right,
I
right.
bought all the podcast equipment.
Mhm.
I have to drive at a loss for all the shows I'm going to, which no one on this podcast is going to know, be able to come, but I'm doing a show in Portland tonight.
Yeah.
But you have to like, you do have to care and you have to put the work in.
Right. It takes like a portion of like sacrifice if you really want to take any type of like artistry seriously. You have to be willing to take a couple losses, you know?
Is there ever a time that you want, like, what do you tell yourself when you feel at your lowest of like not wanting to do it?
I mean, I just tell myself that like I've been in a lot of different positions where like I could have done something like that I didn't want to do, you know, something that was more like had more structure to it. It would have been like it would have supported me better than like an art career. But like I picture myself in that moment and like really dreading doing that thing and then really wanting to do what I'm doing now and like just appreciating the fact that I could get from there to here. And now all I have to do is like work at it. Anything that you put time into is going to grow no matter what it is. So the only thing I have to do is decide what I want and then just put my time into it. And if I do it every day, eventually it's going to culminate into what I want it to culminate into.
It's people.
Pretty simple, you know.
It
It's not
is.
hard.
It's not hard at all. Yeah, and that's why I believe that's what passion is. It's like
Right.
simplifying it down to a level where it's like
Kids get the shit, you know.
It really is, and you just can't let the world kind of like beat you to
Right.
it.
Right.
And
The
you just
world
have
makes people like jaded and like not even like believe that they can do anything like that's not normal and fucking boring. Like,
yeah, exactly. And you just have to not, but it's your anything you give to the universe will give back to you
Right.
exponentially. Like,
right. So if you give yourself doubt, if you're putting like negative energies into the universe, like, oh, like I can only do this, I need to support my family, I gotta go to work at 6 a.m. and do this hard fucking whatever, then that's what you have to do. But
Yeah.
if you widen your range of doing shit, then you can drastically like make your life more fun and enjoyable and not fucking terrible.
Yeah, because when you
Yeah.
follow what you want, you're happier than when you're not, and you get to like, oh, I watched a
Right.
good show to like. There's so like,
Right.
like
Like you still have to know how to like, you obviously need to support yourself, but
100%.
the the thing is to be able to like balance that and also balance what you truly desire to do, you know. Like everything is about balance. You can't do one either of those things like 100% to the max. Like you can't, like you have to like have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know. Like you have to enjoy what you're doing but also be able to pay the bills, you know.
The only like the reason I can do comedy and podcasting for a lot of my time is because I worked a real job and saved up money
Right.
and like was able to work in a way that I could like support myself.
Right.
And then, you know, do whatever now and be able to support myself, because I know that when I follow my dreams, I'm the happiest. And it's also, it is like people think with a diet, like if you go to the gym one day, you're not going to be jacked.
Right.
But they know if you keep going to the gym, you'll see gains, but people don't see that with other things. Like they don't realize that if they follow their passion, they might not be good at it the first day, but like
they keep doing it.
Exactly. Like I've bombed on stage. Like is there a version of that with rap? Like I guess bombing on stage, but like going in the studio and just like eating shit.
Like for sure, like especially with rapping, like in studios and stuff. Like for me, it really like the environment's very important. I like to do with just like my people around type shit and like a calm. I don't like rapping when everyone's partying and like too much is going on because that's gonna fuck me up in the studio, especially if there's mad people, you know.
Yeah.
So like eating shit, like if you were recording and you just fucked up, you can't get the verse right, like niggas are like waiting on you because they want to record and then you can't do it. Like that's kind of equivalent to that, I guess. But yeah, I've done that a couple of times because like recording, it's like an art. Like it's really like it's not just like doing it in your head. It's like you have to come at it from a whole different angle. Like you have to make sure that you look at the mic right. You have to make sure like your voice sounds different in this than it does like in real life. So it's like a whole different. It's kind of hard, you know. So like,
well, that's like I think about like when I listen to your songs, like I love ad libs. That's honestly why I have them on here, so I can do that. But it's like that is that weird recording those?
yeah,
like,
no, the first time
after?
I did it, I didn't even know what to do. Like I was like, what sounds do I make? Like
You just
like
make some weird sounds.
yeah, you just gotta fuck it. Like don't think about it and just
Mhm.
like fucking do whatever comes to your head. Sometimes it's gonna sound completely fucking nutty and they're gonna delete it and not use it, but other times it's gonna sound fire.
Yeah,
You just gotta
exactly.
like experiment with it.
Do you see yourself as like, do you think you get categorized as like a female rapper, or do you think you like, is the scene small enough that you stand your own? Like, is that like a problem? I feel like
Being
people,
categorized as a female rapper.
yeah, like in the comedy scene, I feel like people will be like, oh, like she's good for like a female comedian. It's kind of weird. It's like
Oh,
a
yeah,
backhanded
yeah,
compliment where
yeah,
it's like,
for
nah,
sure.
she's like a funny comedian.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's kind of annoying. Like I experienced just because like I'm a girl
Yeah.
and like it's predominantly dudes, you know, and like in new situations, like people will like dudes will like be like, oh, like kind of like patronize me, like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing type shit.
Yeah, but you can stand your own, and
Right,
like,
and then a lot of people are like, oh shit, like she could actually rap, like, but they didn't consider that when they first met me, you know.
yeah, and that's a funny thing, I guess, about rap is like I've heard songs with you where you'll have a better verse and you're featured on a song. I remember, you know, that has
Yeah.
happened.
That's what I try to do, honestly. Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of like a competitive person, especially when it comes to like rap and like dudes and like me. Like I usually get underestimated by them, so I just kind of like a little game I play just to like be like, like
yeah, exactly.
you know?
And it's also, I guess that's the better thing. Like with comedy, you can't like it's in the moment. It's not like it's recorded. You can record it, but that doesn't really work. Like it's good. Like it shows that like, oh, this guy now has to put out this song that like he did a worse version of.
Right.
Do you? I don't even know why I formed this as a question because I like you love listening to rap too. Like
yeah, it's like all I listen to.
Exactly. Like
So,
I was talking to a friend the other day and I put on Kurt Vile, this musician I like, and I was like, this is my favorite non-rapper. And he's like, you mean mute? Like that's a
just like
musician.
a regular
He's just a
musician.
regular artist. But I listen to so much rap that I call non-rappers
No, I do the same
non-rapper.
thing. I do the
Exactly.
same
Like
thing.
I love
Like,
this non-rapper.
it's like sometimes it's nice. Like when other people play non-rap, I'll just be like, oh, this is kind of decent. Like this is new for me.
But you have to love, like, I hate comedians who are like, I don't really listen to other comedians.
Right, that's weird. I feel like because like why I am like rapping is because I was inspired by other rappers that I've heard, you know. So I have to listen to other rappers to kind of get to, I don't know, it's just an inspiration to see other people come at the music industry in different ways, you know.
And also to know that you're unique enough. Like you have to know
Right.
what's going on around you to plug your own lane. I feel like other people will say like, oh, I don't listen because I don't want to be influenced. But it's like, no, I listen so I don't like if this premise has been done by 4 different people, I'm not gonna do that.
Exactly. It's like puts you in a position like where you stand like in reference to like other people, you know. But like doing that too much isn't good because then it just creates like a lot of artists that are doing the same exact thing in the same exact ways, and then that gets fucking boring.
It is true. I think that's
like a big problem.
It's a big problem, especially because like rappers will blow up quickly and then they'll put on a lot of people, but then those people will put on people, but it's not a lot of like unique sound.
No, they're all like, it's one group, but it's basically different angles of the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's not like there's not a lot of groups that have like a bunch of different individuals. They're like individuals, but they're on the same exact type time.
Yeah,
you know?
that's kind of was the demise of the Atlanta scene after like 2016, 2017.
Everyone morphed into to like Lil Wayne / Young Thug. Like everyone just turned
Yeah,
into
and
that.
then Migos and all that shit.
Yeah, and then Migos, and then it just like it's really hard to distinguish between who is who because everyone sounds sonically the fucking same.
Exactly.
know?
Who did you listen to growing up? Like, who were your inspirations?
I don't know. Like when I think about who's my inspirations, like who like I get my sound from, and not like I can't think of anybody that like I wasn't like I want to sound like this person, you know. But like as
Yeah.
far as people that I liked, that I appreciated their art and whatnot,
Mhm.
Earl Sweatshirt is like one of my favorite rappers ever, low key. Just because like he's more poetic with like his bars and stuff, and like I appreciate that, and like more like the basis of his style is on like the lyrics, and it's not so much like the production and the voice. It's like mostly just the content, which is cool. And Young Thug and Lil Wayne, obviously everybody's inspired by those
Of course,
niggas.
yeah.
My music doesn't really sound that much like them, but like as far as the bars, like Lil Wayne always like king of bars, you know what I'm saying? So I try
Yeah.
to be clever with the shit I say because of that, you know.
Yeah, I love listen. You have great bars, but those rappers stay consistent, but their sound changes over time.
Right. They're able to like adapt to the climate, but not like fall into like certain trends. They're still like trendsetters, but they can be like flexible with what's going on right now.
Do you remember the first rap album you bought? Mine's real embarrassing. It's Nellyville by Nelly. I mean, that's a great album. I will stick to that to this day. That Nellyville by Nelly is a great album. But yeah, that was the first rap album I think I remember like buying myself. Now I also grew up with like Kanye and Ice Cube.
Yo,
And stuff.
Kanye. I think that might have been one of my first purchases. I didn't really like buy a lot of physical copies of anything because just YouTube.
That's true.
But my Dark Twisted Fantasy, that was like
Oh.
one of my first physical purchases.
So my dad moved to Lowell when I was like in 8th grade. And there was this like bodega right by his apartment, and it would sell like illegally burned CDs of like all the biggest rappers, and then like the Gangsta Grills like mixtapes. And it would be so cheap you could get a ton of them, and that's how I found out about. That's literally like how I really found out about like a ton of rap was from those. It's so funny, just these illegally burned CDs.
That's funny. My mom's boyfriend used to do that. He used to burn a bunch of CDs and like just write out with a Sharpie like what the different
Exactly, because you couldn't put the tracks on, and then you just find out about all that different shit.
It was a great era.
When did you start like really pursuing it?
Probably, I mean, honestly, not that long ago. I mean, maybe it's kind of long ago, but initially I was just doing it just like I wrote like music and poetry. Like I've done that since I was a kid, and like I never really thought to like be a rapper, but like I saw other people doing it. I'm like, maybe I just want to see what it like sounds like type shit. So then like I recorded one time, and then I didn't fuck with it for a while, and then like I had a friend like super like influenced me to do it. He had a studio, and like I just ended up like kind of just doing it because like my friends were doing it type shit. And then I realized I could kind of take it serious because I was actually like kind of decent with it. And I just took it from there, and fucking I don't know, just doing it with other people, and like realizing that like if these niggas could do it, like why couldn't I do it? And it's fun. And it's like, you know.
Yeah, it's a great way to like put out your passion.
Right, exactly.
Do you think that's your main output now, like between art and?
Yeah, I focused a lot more on music lately. I'm really passionate about like painting and sculpting and like drawing and all that other shit too. But as far as like, I feel like I'm getting more traction with music than that at this very moment. And like regardless of like which way I do it, like I'm gonna incorporate both like the physical art with the musical art at the same time. Like I'm gonna try to like do my own album covers and like incorporate both sides to like the shit that I do, you know.
That's why I fuck with Griselda a lot. I only really wear their clothes. I'm wearing it right now is
Yeah, that's
because
fire.
they're like really hard rappers out of Buffalo, New York.
Mhm.
They're my favorite. Like I listen to them more than any other rappers. But they also influence art, and they've put on so many artists that do their covers, and like this is
Yeah,
done by
that
Isaac
shit's lit.
Paello, and then there's another artist, Soto, who works with El Camino, and it's like they put on all these artists and they do art themselves and they
Right.
create
It's like a whole
clothing.
piece. It's
Exactly.
like a 360 view of like it's not just like a music piece. It's like a whole picture that you're looking at, you know.
I think about that, and it's so because I am so influenced by rap because I
Mhm.
listen to it constantly. I grew up with it.
Right.
It's like I like the podcast. I like having like talking to rappers. I like having like the ad libs on. I want to create like art for the podcast, like merch for a podcast. That's
Right.
not like podcast merch, but like like real art merch
Yeah.
and stuff
yeah.
like that. Like it also helps my stand up. It's like I want to create kind of, I don't want just one lane, but I want to stick to like one passion.
Right. Exactly.
It's all the creative output. It's all when you get in that flow state.
Right. That's the key to get there.
That's what everything's about. That's what we were talking about before about like when you're happy, like doing what you want.
Right. Like
It's because you're in that flow state.
exactly. Like when you're doing shit that you don't want, like your energy is gonna be off. You're gonna be feeling like, damn, like I'm not trying to do this shit. I'm just doing it because I have to. And it just builds up like an anxiety and it like builds up like just like a shitty feeling type shit, you know? And that doesn't go away until you do what you actually like are passionate about and what you like feel like you want to do, you know? Like you only like you only live here, my nigga, for like the time that you're alive. So why am I gonna wake up every morning and then do some bullshit that I don't want to do and then make bare minimum and like still have to do the same shit until I'm like 35?
Yeah, and then you get off at 5:00 and like you're like, oh, I get to watch that new show on Netflix I really
like
enjoyed.
Netflix is the highlight of your fucking
But you're
life
never
type
gonna
shit.
get into that flow state. Like
No. So like it keeps you down. It keeps you like stagnant in the same position. Like people like think they're moving, but every day they just wake up and they go like over here and then they go back here and then they go over here. So it's just everyone's just in like a fucking constant loop of fucking nothing. You know what I'm saying? So in order to get out of that paradigm is the word I was trying to think of. you have to like follow like the instinct of what you really feel like you want to do type shit, you know? And
yeah.
like,
Yeah, because I like schedule my day around being in a flow. Like if other people did my day, they probably wouldn't be happy with it. But like it's because I run every day because it gets me in a flow state. I do
right.
yoga
You
every
have
day
to make
because
yourself feel good. That's number one. Like when you wake up,
yeah.
if you don't feel good, your day's gonna go like shit. You have to wake up, do something for yourself, fucking meditate, go for a run, do the shit that you're
Exactly.
doing, you know? Once your like head is clear and you have a goal in your head, you know what you're trying to do, then it's easy. But like people just wake up and they're stressed and they're like fucking anxious, running around, trying to get here, rushing over here, fucking in traffic. Like it's like stressful. It's just not like an enjoyable thing. Like people just have to try to make life enjoyable. It's not a hard concept, my nigga. Like
Do you write or every day? Like what's your writing process?
it's very sporadic, honestly.
Yeah.
It,
Same
like,
with me. Yeah.
it really depends how I feel. Like it's 100% based on how I feel type shit. Like I can't be like mad when I write. I can't have any super, it's weird. I can't have any super like strong feeling about anything. I have to be in like a clear space in my life so I can like talk about or like hint about like certain things I've been experiencing in my rap. Like if I'm going through something, I can't write about it. It's weird. But like I have to be like in a calm, like chill headspace and like by myself and like just in like a peaceful environment for me to like really write something that like I'm gonna put out at least.
Is that the energy you think you want to give off with your music?
Yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna try to do something I'm not naturally, because that's gonna be really hard to maintain. Because a lot of people put out a character, they put out an aesthetic that's not their true aesthetic, and so they have to try so hard to maintain that when it's not actually who they want to be, and like that's an extra weight that I don't want to carry. So I'm gonna just come at it like super genuine, and like I could just chill and be like my regular self,
Yeah.
pursuing music and shit, like especially being like a female rapper. A lot of female rappers have certain characters that are super like sexualized and super like in that way, and like I feel like a lot of people just expect that just because I'm a female rapper, and that's definitely not what I'm trying to portray.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, it's like, as far as like, I don't want to reach and stretch so much just to fit into the climate,
Yeah,
like
you have to
there's
be yourself.
exactly.
You can't sell out yourself. Like
No, like
David Goggins, I don't know if you know who he is. He was on Joe Rogan. If I'm
I've
gonna
probably
be
seen
honest,
it.
if
I've
I'm
probably
being
seen it.
honest, that's where I know. But he was talking about like when he sold his first book, like the publishing company wanted him to be one way and for a certain amount. But he's like, no, I believe in myself, and it might
Right,
take
right.
longer, but like I know that's more noteworthy.
Exactly.
Fucking, you said one of your biggest people you like is Earl Sweatshirt, and he's stayed consistently himself. He doesn't change.
Exactly. That's why I respect
I mean,
him
he
so
does
much as an
change, but he
artist.
doesn't change to what the climate wants. He changes to what
based
he
off
wants.
of him and how he's evolving as a person.
Exactly.
He doesn't base it off of like fans are very important, you know what I'm saying? But you can't fully base like your direction based off of like what everybody wants. If you're a true artist, you're gonna do what comes from your heart, and that depends on where you are as an individual at that point,
Do you get hate? Like, do you ever get like hate online?
Honestly, not really. Like, obviously, maybe like
You haven't been
couple
reading my
things.
comments?
Shut up.
I feel like I stole that joke from the last podcast. I'm just kidding.
But no, like I don't really I get a lot. I just mostly love from people, because like I only put love out there. Like I'm not on the internet talking shit. Like I don't have no beef with anybody. Like I'm a peaceful ass person. So like usually nobody really has anything that negative to say about me. I'm sure like moving forward, like having more viewers and whatnot, that's just an inevitable piece of it. But
Yeah,
as of now, it's pretty cool.
it was funny. I talk about this a good amount, but it's like I got one clip. I had someone comment like, a clip get a good amount of views, and someone commented, "This podcaster fucking sucks." And it's like, I don't care, but it's funny because it's like in that clip, I do kind of look not like who I am portrayed, but that's kind of the sporadicness and spontaneity of a podcast. It's
Right,
like
right.
you
It's
like
just like a true piece of
you
like
can cut
reality
like
type shit.
do you like that you can kind of put out what you want, like when you want?
Yeah, of course. Like I'm super like I'm a perfection artist when it comes to like everything type shit. So putting out music is lit because you can like take as much time as you want on it. You can re-record it, you can tweak it, you can have the producer do shit, you can have the engineer do shit. Like you can make it exactly like what you want it to be. And like I really like working on just like I enjoy painting and shit, and like just sitting there for like hours just trying to like make everything perfect. That's fun for me. So like it's cool that I could do that with like the songs and shit.
Do you get in the flow state when you're painting?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I feel like that's like the easiest way for me to get into that flow state, because it's just like, I don't know, like it's like if I were to do some work for 8 hours, I'd be like, damn, like I'm tired. This shit's hard. But like painting, I'm like, it feels like it's like 20 minutes, nigga. It's like,
Exactly, and it just goes. You know,
yeah, there's no sense
yeah.
of time, and like that's why I try to lean on activities that make me feel like that, because then like that's a good way to spend your time rather than like not.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's tough because then when people don't aren't following their passions or aren't trying to like get in their own flow state. Not that you feel they have like a resentment towards you, but like I try to like surround myself with people who want to grow themselves and be better.
Right, because it like who you're around determines a lot about yourself, like your environment type shit.
It's
and
true.
I realized that like a lot, like separating myself from a lot of people, just in general, no one is specific, but just getting by myself type shit made me realize like a lot of things and like certain ways I could protect my energy type shit.
Yeah, because you
know?
got to focus on yourself. And I always think about this. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, but it's like if if you go to medical school or law school or whatever, you have to dedicate your life for those years to that, and your people around you know that, and then they realize that afterwards what comes out of it will be worth the time that they put in.
Right.
But they don't see that with other things. Like they don't see that with like whether it be music or comedy. They don't see that like I go and maybe I think my family does and the people around me do understand, but I do think it's like they don't realize that I'm going every single night and like putting in this work, because that's my like grad school kind of like I might not be paying as much, but like I'm putting in that work because I know it'll pay off in the end.
Right, exactly. Like I was going to school for some medical shit and like I was busy all the time. That sucked up my whole fucking life. Like no cap. Like every single day at every moment was dedicated to homework or being in school or being in the hospital or, you know what I'm saying? Like working towards this goal that I had set for myself. And like that shit wasn't even fun for me. Like, you know, so it was so much time and so much effort on some shit that I wasn't like passionate about. And like I would be busy and shit and like nobody would sweat me about like me not coming somewhere, like me not doing something type shit. And like now that I'm not doing that anymore because that was my passion, it didn't make me happy. Now if I'm lacking somewhere, like niggas don't give me the opportunity like to like nah, I've been working on my own goals. Like I haven't been in school, but I've been fucking trying to follow my passions and like do the shit I want to do. And niggas don't really give me the same space that I had when I was in school, just because that's not a traditional thing to do.
It's so crazy to me because it like we idolize these artists that like I remember being like, well, like, you know, you see like, wow, he slept in his car for 2 months to follow his dreams and now he's a celebrity. But like if you're in that moment, your family would be like, what the fuck are you doing? But once you make it, that story is so great.
Right.
But they don't understand when you're in it. Not that I'm living in my car now, but it's like, why am I staying at a shitty motel in Maine? It's like, because I'm fucking followed by, I want to talk to you. Like, honestly, like,
exactly.
I'm following what I want to do, my passion, and I'm putting in the work.
Right. It's like, it's just like a basic decision. It's like, are you going to put in a little extra footwork to do something you enjoy? Or are you gonna do something that's right here, easy for you, simple, secure, and like not be happy? It's
but
just
you
like,
live your life for other people in those moments. Like when you do jobs, you're living your life for your boss. When you're
fuck that shit. I'm done doing it. Like I'm not gonna work another regular nigga job ever again. I swear to God on my life. Like I worked at Domino's, fucking like customer service, fucking like no, bro. Like that's not fun. I don't want to sit here and hello, my name is Maya. It's nice to meet you. Like I'm not trying to put on a face for nobody, bro. Like that's not fun for me.
Yeah. Hi. Like I
so
same
fake,
thing.
bro.
I know.
Like I hate it so much.
And my job was nice because they realized I was a comedian. So I think that like the bathrooms were out once, and this old dude was like, "Hey, like, can I use the bathroom?" Or like, "Nah, it's out." And he's like, "Well, where do you guys go?" And I said, "Well, we have a bucket out back if you want to use it." And I didn't get in trouble for that. My manager was right there because I think they understood that. Like, but I can't live my life for anyone else.
No, it's exhausting. It's soul sucking. And if you do that for too long, you're gonna be empty ass individual. And you know,
yeah,
I don't want to be like that.
So many people are unhappy because they don't do
Majority of people are unhappy. Like I think it's honestly like a fucking disease of everybody. Like majority of people are just like ridden with anxiety and fucking unhappiness. Nobody's really enjoying their existence. It's really fucking depressing.
You don't need the best place or the best
No,
shit.
it's just
like
a mindset. It's literally just a mindset.
Nothing. I always thought it when I look at places, it's like nothing's gonna be as bad as the dorm in college. Like nothing, no place is as bad. Like, you know what I mean? Where you share shit. Like you lived on an air mattress. Like nothing's gonna be as bad as that. Like it's
bro.
all up.
And I had a good time on that air mattress.
Yeah,
no
dude,
cap,
that was a
bro.
fantastic.
Like it was a little ass crib. Kiana was like right here next to me. Like we were snoring in each other's faces type shit. Like
you go into my room
bathroom.
to that was my room.
But yeah, that was a good time. And like that's the time where I stopped like following what everyone else wanted me to do. And like I was like, fuck it, my life is fucked up right now. I'm trying to dip real quick. And I came there and it cleared my head and it made me realize what I really wanted. And it made me take time to actually think about it. Because niggas don't think. Niggas don't know how to think. Niggas go through life, right? And they're just moving along. But they don't even think and absorb and process like what the fuck they're doing or what's happening or what they're culminating, what they're manifesting for the future, you know? But you have to be, in order to like control what happens in your life or like have any influence in your own life, you got to be aware of what you're doing, what your influences are, like the people around you, like everything. You have to be like, you have to manage your whole brain and your whole life like it's like a job. It is.
And it's weird because like when bad shit happens, like when, you know, whatever, breakups, getting fired, anything, when any death, whatever, when bad shit happens, we're so scared of those moments.
Right, we fear them so much.
But those are the moments that you hate to admit that you grow the most, that you become the, but we're but people are so scared of, like, it's so cliche to be like scared of failure, like follow your dreams, don't be scared of failure. But we're so scared of things that hurt us. But in those moments, we become the best version of ourselves.
Exactly.
If we follow now, there's always a path when that stuff happens.
Right, you have a decision to make at that point, you know.
But it's so crazy to me, like, and I'm fearful of stuff myself.
Yeah, but everybody is. But you have to try to, like, fear and anxiety and worry that's like that's gonna destroy people. That's like the one thing that's gonna fuck everybody up, literally. Like if you think about all the main problems everywhere, it's because of those things.
Are you an anxious person?
Yeah, low key. Like it depends on the situation, but like it's like I'm a very analytical person. I think through everything very deeply and very frequently. And like, so like, no matter what the situation is, I'm like analyzing everything and I'm like thinking about it. And I'm like, okay, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. And like, you have to kind of get out of that mindset. And that's what I've been working on for a while, to like get more into like living right now and focusing on like what's in my vision and like moving forward and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have a balance between thinking too much and like not thinking enough.
It's true. It's the not caring but caring so much.
Right.
But that's the flow state.
Exactly.
Like
that's when what I'm trying to reach.
Exactly. Yeah. Like when you're in that state, you're not thinking about anything else. Do you ever meditate?
Yeah, actually, I meditate a lot. It's really fucking. Like I smoke a lot of weed and that is very meditative for me anyways. And like I kind of recently started like actually sitting there and like trying to go through the like exercises in my brain and shit. And like when I'm done, I just feel like a relief. Like I just smoked a blunt or something.
Exactly. And you're like, you're in the moment. I like to, and it's funny, I've actually not been good about it in the past month, probably. Doing it not as much, and I realize I'm very like quick to snap right now. Like I get very like irritable quickly.
Yeah. It's managing yourself to not be in that state. It's hard in like these times.
Exactly.
It's really a process.
And also, like we were talking before, it's like it doesn't happen overnight. Like you don't see the change that day. You have to exactly
like you have to do research. You have to like I watch YouTube like every day. I be watching like different inspirational people that like talk about like different ways to meditate and like different like angles at life, and like I just try to listen to like things that are gonna enlighten me and things that are gonna help me, you know. Like it's cool to watch entertaining shit, but like I like to watch things that are gonna like make me a better person type shit.
Yeah, I really don't really watch movies or TV shows
Yeah,
that
I've
much
cut that
anymore.
shit down a
I watch
lot.
podcasts where I can learn. I listen to audiobooks. I did
Mhm.
watch the new Borat movie. That was
I
funny.
haven't
So
seen
that was good as fun. But I like things that time is very finite.
Right.
Like days are long, but weeks are short, months. Like
Mhm.
time is finite. So I
Right.
want to use those
You could do a lot with a little time.
exactly. But like 10 minutes of meditating feels like a long ass time. Like if you sit there and
Weird.
don't move and
Like,
count your
damn,
breaths up until
I'm
10,
bored.
1, 2, 3, for 10 minutes. But I'll be on my phone for 10 minutes, for 40 minutes, and I'll be like, what the I just wasted 40
I just
minutes of
fell
my
into
day.
the Matrix and I
Exactly.
completely lost myself.
And that's what people do their whole lives of
No,
watching movies
Look,
and
I did
TV
this thought
shows.
experiment and I was like, I'm gonna just picture myself like just up here, just looking down at like what I was at my mom's house and like what everybody in the house is doing. Everyone is looking at a screen and I was just like imagining the screen's gone and then everybody just sitting there just like this. Or like fucking hair like this. And I'm like, that's just crazy. We ain't doing shit. We
Aren't doing
a
shit. Yeah.
fucking thing.
Well, that's the
You
thing
know?
that sucks is because like I also want to promote myself. So like I'm on fucking Instagram all the time trying to promote my
Right.
podcast,
Yeah, that's
promote
the
my
thing.
stand
It's
up,
hard.
but then it gets me addicted to checking it all the time because I get that
Exactly.
dopamine hit, the social dilemma shit.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to balance, like, you know, the internet and real life, because some people are just so entrenched in the internet that they don't tend to the physical world and they're just lost and confused and they just live off of likes and they live off of the shit on the internet and then themselves is like empty and
Dog shit.
fucking, yeah, they're not good. They look good on the
Yeah.
internet and shit, but they're not like fulfilled people. They're not fulfilled humans. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are y'all doing this for?
And no one like teaches us how to like take care of our minds.
No,
Like,
that's
they
the
tell
most
us to
important
learn
thing,
stuff, but
and
they don't-
nobody teaches you that.
No one teaches you how to live.
No,
I think it could be because life sucks for so many people. They're like, we want it to suck for you too. Like, we're not going to teach you. Like, we had to do. It's like the Trump
Right,
supporter
right.
mentality. It's like, we had to suffer, so you have to suffer. It's
Oh, God.
like, it's like,
Literally.
nah,
I
you
had to go
don't.
through this rite of passage to become a man or a woman, whatever. You got to go through that shit too, or else you're not in the club.
And
Sorry,
it's like, no, that's not how it works.
That's why
like,
a lot of old people don't respect like millennials making money in different ways, because they didn't have to go through the hours of hard fucking labor. Like, nigga, I don't want to do that. So I don't have to.
exactly.
So like,
yeah.
congratulate me on trying to finesse the system. You know, like that's what kids are doing now.
Because they finesse the system. Trump pays $750 in taxes.
Right.
Not that
right.
like he finesses the
Fuck
system.
it.
Like,
And that's cool for him. I'm not even mad at that.
no, because
I'm not mad.
every rich person in the world does that. Everyone
Right.
finesses. If you
Right.
say that you don't finesse
Because
a
the
little bit on
system
your
is
taxes,
a piece of shit, bro. The system is a lie, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So if you finesse it, my nigga, that's more power to you. Like, you're smart. If you could do that, you're a smart individual, and I can respect you.
Like
for
the
that.
people who never. I don't think cheating in school in a bad way is bad,
Mhm.
but when people help each other,
right,
like
right.
that's how the real
If you
world
have a little
works.
powwow,
It's
you're
not.
like, yo, what's up with question number B or
It's
whatever. You know what I'm
not
saying? Let it be.
you versus the world. Like,
Yeah, we could work together.
the
man.
only reason anything gets built is because of teamwork, but we get
Right.
taught that it's no team. Like,
Yeah, we're so individualized in the society. I feel like that's a big reason why people are like depressed and sad and shit and have
Mhm.
anxieties, because like nobody's trying to be like a community. Nobody's trying to like fuck with it. Like, you have your niggas and shit, but you don't care about the person that lives across the street. Like, you don't
Yeah.
care about just like random people, you know. It's
mhm.
more of like you're working hard for you and like the people you fuck with, but it's not like a general respect for everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's also like going back to your passion. Like you have people who mix and master and engineer, and you have your producer, the people who do, like, it's not to get to follow your dream. You have to outsource the stuff
and
you
for
want to do.
To be a rapper, bro, like it's a fantasy.
A musician. I like an artist. It's such a weird term, but like, I think, you know, I hope you don't get offended by that term.
No, it's okay. I don't care. But like,
is there a term it's better?
I
Artist.
really don't give a
All
fuck,
right,
to
cool.
be honest. But like, to people that are trying to be rappers, like it's an image that you're portraying. Like people are trying to portray this image, like majority of them. And the image is like, oh, you're flexing, you have money, you got all the designer brands, you're up to date with everything. Like you're like a cool nigga type shit. That's like what just everybody is looking at. That's what you're trying to portray. But like the funny part is most of the niggas that are like coming up, they're not even living what they're portraying to people. Like the reason why they're on isn't what's really going on.
Exactly.
You know? And like most of those people have like managers that are supporting their whole career, paying for the Airbnbs, paying for the trips to LA, paying for all that shit. Like it's not, or other sources of income, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, that's why it's kind of like, I'm kind of conflicted about being a rapper, because like I love making music and I like the culture, and it's like just like a good way of expression, but like the industry is just fucked up in a lot of ways, you know, and like it's not like a true genuine portrayal a lot of times of what's really going on, you know, and that's why I respect rappers that are true, that are a true portrayal of themselves and what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
you know?
But I think that's kind of, I think people are starting to realize that.
Yeah,
I
feel like a shift right now, honestly.
I think 6ix9ine was the pinnacle.
Right.
Like that was
They're
the
like,
pinnacle
okay.
in showing that the world's fake. Like we can take someone and make them a character and
but
put
that
it in
person
the
really
real.
ain't shit.
And then once he came back, it was like, oh, that was all like an act, and it really showed. I think we're on the like downward of being independent.
Right. Like people realize that the rap industry got to a point where like the music wasn't even what is important anymore. Like that's not even what niggas care about. Niggas just want to see someone do some crazy shit. Niggas just want to see some shocking shit. And niggas want, like, you know, it's not about the piece of art or the content. It's just about like how viral it's gonna go. Movie viral. Like it's about fucking that. Exactly. That's the main thing.
I had a comedian who was a former rapper on this podcast. Lloyd Legacy Sharp, and he was offered a $2 million deal in the early early 2000s. But he was all about like respecting the ladies. Like his song was Respect the Ladies.
Look.
But they were going to make him get a tattoo on his chest that had a woman with a line across it, and they were going to make him wear a wire 18 hours of the day so he could pretend to be like a gangster who hated women. And that was the only way he would get the $2 million.
Wait.
And he turned it down. It's he turned it down.
Look, the fact that he was respecting the ladies, bro, that's great. I commend that nigga, because look, as a female, like the rap industry is fucking like there's so much misogyny in it. I love rap, but like it's like phew, like oh my god, you know, it's like I want to be a rapper, but like I don't want to be in the same box that these bitches are in the rap industry.
Because they're all, it's crazy how it's all this like one image.
Yeah, there's not too many different portrayals of women in the industry that are like, look, I'm not a hater. I don't want to be a hater. Like I respect all female artists and like any creative people, but like certain times, like some artists, like they lean too much on their sexuality.
It's true.
It's just too much, bro.
I don't want to name, but I can think of like 5
you
coming
know,
to the
like
top.
it's easy to think about examples. I'm not gonna talk about it specifically, but like it's like me as an artist, I know I could easily do that. You know what I'm saying? But like I don't want to do that, because that's not why I do music. I don't do music for attention. I don't do music to like, I do music because I enjoy sitting there and writing music and then recording it and hearing it myself. Like that's why I really do music.
You respect the art. You're not like trying to hustle.
Like I don't give a fuck about some clout, to be honest with you, on God. I don't give a fuck about any clout. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't do too much to try to like get views or try to go viral or try to get some niggas to look at me. Like if you fuck with my art and respect it, I want you as a fan. But if you like me because I look a certain way, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want fans like that.
Yeah.
You know, and if I come at this industry like trying to over sexualize myself to get attention, that's what niggas are gonna look at me for. And they're not gonna have respect for my art. They're just gonna want to fuck me.
And then they're gonna shit on your music just because you don't like give them the attention that they want.
Right.
Like,
right.
there's talented rappers, there's talented female rappers that people shit on just because like they could never like get the like,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, just enjoy the music. Like,
Exactly.
it's so stupid.
It's not like
yeah.
everyone makes it too personal. Like there could be a female artist that you're listening to because she has good bars. She has a good story, my nigga. Like everyone looks at it from the same, like, oh, she's cute. Like she got bars. She talks about fucking
Armani Caesar. I'm wearing her album cover right now.
yeah.
And actually, I talked to someone once and they were like, it's a female. Like, I'm not allowed to wear a female rapper's merch.
Like, are you offended by that?
That's
like,
it's this crazy thing. And
yeah.
it's like,
and like when I play my music for certain people, like niggas would be like, did you write that? Like your boyfriend didn't write that for you? I'm like, nigga, that's the most insulting thing. I
yeah.
swear to God. Like,
oh, that would
you
be,
don't think I can write, bro? Like you don't think like, what do you mean? I'm not fucking retarded because I'm a female, bro.
exactly.
Like
yeah.
if anything, I'm smarter than a lot of young niggas. Like
you
know?
spend, that's actually, that's why I think we were friends off the bat. It's like you watched a lot of like like learning about yourself and learning about the universe and the kind of bigger meaning of everything
right, exactly.
right off the bat.
That's why I fuck with people. That's literally the people I fuck with in my life are people that are into like self-development and into like shit that's more than like what's on Twitter right now or what fucking memes are going on. Like I talk about that shit for fun, but like that's not really what I'm genuinely like interested in. You know?
Do you like the flow of consciousness rap? Like when you write, do you have like a topic or are you just like, this is what I'm portraying this moment in time?
It depends. I come at it from different ways, like depending on how I'm feeling. Like recently, like when I first started like recording, I'd be in an environment where there's like my niggas and like there's just a beat playing and we're all just like thinking real quick, trying to write like a verse so we could record. And like during those periods, I would just be like in the moment, just like thinking random shit, just like lower consciousness, like it usually doesn't correlate with the bar before. It's just like random shit. And that really helps me like perfect like my flow and like figure out what I wanted to sound like. That really like helped me. But like now I try to think of a concept or at least think of a word or think of a color or think of something, some kind of like unifying thing and like base my bars off of that so that like it's more of like a full song when I'm done, you know?
Yeah. So when you're writing in the studio in the moment, it's work, you get a better flow.
When I do
out
it for
of
fun, when I do it, like I do it for fun all the time. But when I'm just like fucking around and I'm like drunk and I'm just like just trying to have fun in the studio, I just do it like that.
But when you're writing, you get probably
writing,
better like bars out of it.
Yeah, exactly. When I'm trying to make a full song that I'm gonna put out or something, I put more thought into it.
I feel like that way with when I like before when I started up, I would write all my jokes out like word for word, just have them out. And I feel like I might have had better jokes, but now I kind of like write on stage or go up with a concept. And I feel like it's more real that like not, it's the flow. Like it's
and
a
writing
flow.
it probably prepared you to do it better on stage.
Exactly. You have to write. Everyone has to write. And I still do write, but it's a difference.
Yeah.
Do you write freehand or do you type?
I usually just do it on my phone. I write sometimes like on physical paper, but I always lose the paper, so I try not to do that.
Yeah, and you paint too. I like writing on physical paper, but I've gone through so many notebooks that I've lost with so like half started notebooks.
Yeah, that's what I always do that. Like my brain's very like chaotic when I write, so like I'll have like 4 bars and then I'll like forget about it. I'll say fuck that, then I'll start another one, say fuck that, start another one, do like half a song, then do another one, and then I'll go back and then I'll finish it later. And then some of them won't get finished, but some of them will, and they'll be fire. Like I usually don't sit there and do a whole song. It's just like piece by piece.
Yeah. Do you ever produce produce beats, or are you fully?
No, not really. Like I tried to make a beat once and I don't know, it's just fucking it's like that's like engineering, like that's a whole different monster, and I'm not doing that thing. I'm trying to be an artist. I'm not trying to like rap, so I don't want to like spend a lot of my brain power figuring out how to do that when I don't really want to do that.
And it's so, I love that, because it's like I've been talking to more producers who don't rap, and I came in rap loving beats and rap, but like talking to producers, I got a whole different knowledge. Like that's all they wanted. Like
Producers are lit, man.
yeah, I should put you in contact with some people.
Yeah, you
that would be
definitely
dope.
should.
That would be. I'm not gonna talk about this on air, but I have ideas. But do you have like a project that you're working on? Like
yeah, I haven't ironed out the details and whatnot. I'm been like working. I have fucking like mad unreleased songs. Just the whole progression of like me working on my like flow and all that. Probably like I don't know, like over 100 songs type shit. And like most of them will never see the internet. But like I have.
Once a hacker leaks your shit.
Right. Hopefully not. I have a set of like, I don't know, probably like 6 right now. 6 solid songs that I'm trying to drop. Maybe 5. I don't know. Just like a little EP. But I'm trying to go to the studio like once or twice more to see what else I could put out, and then pick my favorite ones and then drop it.
Are you nervous about putting out like a project, or are you like, nah, I'm already thinking about the next one?
No, I'm not really nervous about putting it out, because like I'm pretty confident in my like abilities. It's just like figuring out how to get it out in a strategic way to where enough people are going to recognize it and like make it strategic for myself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like being good is the ticket to play.
Right. Like we already know that, but I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to actually make something shake with it.
Yeah, and do you, when you put projects together, or do you like concept pieces, or have you thought about putting like?
I enjoy when other artists do that, and like myself, I'm trying to learn how to do that and make everything way more cohesive and like a whole movie type shit. But my brain doesn't usually work like that, so it's kind of a struggle to do that. But I'm very much working on it. That's why it's taking so long to pick these songs to put on the tape, because I'm trying to make it cohesive.
Yeah, but even if that's not how your brain works, that's not how your brain works.
Like, right. It's just like it's the thing, like it's the balance between trying to make shit marketable and also make shit a genuine thing.
You said you wanted to paint your own covers.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have like, when you create a song, do you have like an art thing, like a vibe in the art that comes to mind, or when you paint, do you have like is there a connection between the two in your mind?
Yeah, kind of. It's more so like with the beat. Like when I first listen to a beat, I get like a general vibe of like where I'm gonna go with it. Like, is this a upbeat thing? Is this like, I have like a general feeling, like, and then I see a picture of it in my mind. It's hard to explain, but it's like a certain like, if it's like a gloomy thing, like I see like gray skies and shit. It's just like a quick image that I just see in my brain, and I just go towards that.
Yeah. Were you always inclined artistically?
Yeah, that's ever since I was fucking like very little. That's all I wanted to do. I was always drawing and shit when I was a kid, like making little songs, like singing and shit. Like, like I always like, I would get in trouble in class for drawing and doodling too much. Like it was just something that was effortless and like I enjoyed, and I always wanted to do it. And I was always like the best fucking artist in my class as a kid and shit. And I was just like, okay, like, all right, I could do this. Like, this is lit, because like a lot of other kids didn't like doing like art and shit. They're like, oh, I'm a bad drawer. And I was like, I couldn't relate.
Did you realize that you were the best at your age, or did you go back and?
Kind of low key. Like while I was, just because I don't know, I want to say it was like cocky with it, but like
yeah,
I just nobody was really interested in that type of shit when I was younger.
Yeah.
So like it was clear that I was the only one trying to like finesse with my drawings and shit.
Yeah, I went to a super preppy school, and I wasn't a class clown, but anytime I tried to like be myself,
Mhm.
I got like shut down. So I kind of like stopped. I had to like relearn to be like, oh, I am like good at this shit.
Right.
Like I
right.
remember in 4th grade, we had to make these pillows, and you could design the pillow however you wanted. So I did East Coast versus West Coast rap. Like
That's lit.
that's how I wanted to design. So I did like the East Coast rappers on the East, West Coast rappers on the West side, and they made me redo my pillow. Like the teacher,
Why?
the teacher talked to my mom, and my mom like they were like, he should not be. And it was really like
What the hell?
any shit like that. It just squat. Yeah, they like did not. That's why I'm fully like wear rap tees and merchandise all the time now,
Right.
and I'm myself.
Like it's not that controversial, bro. Like chill.
People are scared of liking what they like.
Right.
You know, like
Mhm.
you can enjoy whatever.
There's a reason why people like certain shit in the culture.
do you not like the like business side of the art?
No.
I mean, of the music?
Nah. Honestly, I don't care for any of that shit. Cause like art is art because it's like a genuine portrayal of you as a person, your experience as a person. And like when you add too many numbers and digits and managers and all the extra shit, it kind of it takes away from the actual art.
Mm-hmm.
And like at a certain point it's completely gone and it's just a business. And then that's I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, like I want money obviously, but like the reasons why I do art and music is because I enjoy art and music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are always like, "Oh, you don't like popular things?" Like that's like, "Oh,
I like popular things if I like the popular thing.
yes, but also mostly popular things are lowest common denominator because it's like the most people like it, the most people like
Right.
helped to get it to the top. It's like
Right.
that's why underground stuff is usually better because
Exactly.
there's less people like touching it.
Exactly. It's a genuine picture of the fucking artist. And they haven't been corrupt. They haven't gotten to a point where they've been corrupted by the industry yet. So they're more true to themselves.
I go so far in and out with Drake if I like him or not.
Look, I can respect Drake tremendously for his work in the rap community. Like that nigga is rich as hell. He's doing fantastic. He's on top of everybody. He's shitting on everybody, you know. That's fantastic. But as an artist and as like a listener, that's just not my type of music. I don't really fuck with Drake personally.
There's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. And his music, like it's not like personal.
Yeah, it's not personal. Like I'm not like I wouldn't be a hater. Like oh fuck, Drake just dropped another song. Like
that's new.
That
Laugh Now, Cry Later is a great song because I just like Lil Durk.
Yeah, no, like he produces songs that are really good in like club situations, and they produce like an energy where everybody hears the song and they're like, oh shit, this is my shit. Like,
yeah,
da, 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 da. And that's like a talent in and of itself, and it's partly because he's been in the business for so long. He's sharpened the tool of marketing so well that he could do that like fucking like that. Like,
yeah,
you know. But he's a better businessman than he is a genuine artist, I think, in my personal opinion. But he's a good artist, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
he's a great artist.
do you like plan? Do you see your future in like music, or do you just kind of like? Do you just kind of let it happen?
I definitely see music in my future, but how exactly, I'm not sure. Like, I have like different sets of goals for myself in like different aspects of my life. Like I have my creative goals, my financial goals, my other, a bunch of different sets of goals. And for that one, like I picture like I'm gonna do a bunch of different shit. That's gonna be one of them. but maybe not the forefront of it.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to the point where I figured out what's going to be the main thing yet.
Right.
But
You can use it as like a springboard into other things.
yeah, that's definitely going to happen. But just like, you can't really put together the whole pieces to the puzzle right now. Like, all you need to know is like what you want, and then how it comes together will figure itself out.
Yeah, that's like, I love the podcast and I love stand up, and I never want to quit those, but
Right.
those also will help me be able to do other dreams that I
Right.
have.
All you have to do is follow the thing that's what you like. So do that shit, keep doing that shit, and then opportunities will come up.
The universe will
Right.
give back what you give
Exactly.
exponentially.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being on, man. This was
Thank
such a
you.
fun time. I'm so happy I got to see you again. And I
Yes.
can't wait to hear what you have. Do you want to plug anything?
Oh yeah. Follow me on Instagram at super Permy, super Permy. My SoundCloud, super Permy, same spelling. And I'm gonna be coming out with a tape pretty soon. So, stay listening.
All right, I'll plug all that shit and tag all of it. I really
Sweet.
think you should check out her music. I fucking love it. You should like and subscribe this podcast. We are back with new episodes every Thursday. Thank you all for listening. And goodbye.